David Ling is dreading having to fly anytime soon.
I wouldn't want to be in any of their aircraft with pictures, pretty pictures about Antarctica there. It'll just bring everything back. And I think that's cruel.
Air New Zealand didn't respond to a request for an interview for this story. The safety video is due to be released next month. For Morning Report, Kim Griggs.
And the archive audio you heard at the start of that report was courtesy of Ngā Taonga Sound and Vision. 25 minutes past 8 now on Morning Report. The Opportunities Party has rated the government's 17 goals for its first 100 days in office. The results aren't looking too good. Here to talk about the report card is Opportunities Party leader Gareth Morgan. Good morning.
Morning, Susie.
Why should we care what Top thinks about how the government's going?
Well, I think we should care about the quality of policy. I mean, I want to make it clear that this is all about policy quality, not about how popular the government is or any of the other aspects. It's just simply benchmarking each of the 17 policies against basically best practice, which is the consensus of the policy research and advisory community.
But this is best practice in your view, which you got, what, 2-ish% of the vote, you won no seats, so why should you get a particular voice in the space?
Well, as I said, it's you should evaluate the arguments on their merits. I would have hoped that objectivity hasn't been lost here. I mean, we've had very popular prime ministers before, and it's impossible not to like Jacinda, of course. But we had John Key was the most popular prime minister, and Jacinda's very popular. But popularity does not necessarily make good policy, and that's really all this is interested in, is the quality of the policy.
Where do you feel the quality of the policy is good then?
Oh, good. Well, I think we gave it passes on things like the healthy homes approach to that, stopping the sale of state houses, the fact that they're going to do the inquiry into mental health, with qualifications, the increase in the minimum wage. So there definitely are things that, Zero Carbon Act, we're a huge fan of that. We've got to see the guts of it yet. But
what about the fails then?
Well, the fails, really, by far the biggest one is the tax working group that has been given a terms of reference that says you will not look into the major issue that is undermining productivity and inequality in New Zealand, which is the tax break that owners of owner-occupied housing get. And that, to me, is just disastrous yet again. So, we can expect as a result of that inequality to keep rising, unaffordability to keep rising, tenants to be kicked from pillar to post. I've had 3 families in our own street in this last month kicked out just before the school year because the landlords are saying, well, we're going to have a change of use, which of course is a euphemism for a bloody great rent rise, but they don't want to go to arbitration. So, that market is extremely dysfunctional, and the inequality between tenant families and home ownership owners is going to continue to rise, and it's been doing it now for 30 years, and it's getting worse and worse.
Okay, so overall, what mark would you give the government?
Well, we gave it 3 out of the 10 because we're judging it on purely how effective will the policies be, and that's not enough.
Okay, so if it's 3 out of 10 for Labour in the first 100 days, what mark did you give, or would you have given the national-led government previously? Well,
at the end of their term, I would have given them probably something similar, something even lower, because what the Nats did is they got growth purely from increasing population numbers through growth, and so productivity languished, and of course inequality soared under the housing thing. So
a marginal uptick.
Not good. Yeah, it's just another caretaker government. It's not a transformational government. So I'm hoping that they'll, be as good as policy as they are with the, the skills, obviously, of their Prime Minister.
Okay,
but that's yet to come.
What would be the piece of advice if you could give them one single individual thing? Say, this will get you up to 5 out of 10. What would do it?
Oh, by far, it's the tax working thing. If they can close that loophole on owner-occupied housing, so that we don't get such a tax break for owning our own house, then I think that, causes an enormous improvement in terms of the lives of tenants and obviously of productivity as well, because capital won't be wasted on this race to own housing.
Thank you very much. That is Gareth Morgan, leader of the Opportunities Party. Leader of the Opportunities Party for now. How long are you going to be remaining for the leader?
Well, until we, we'll go through a succession process, because, as I said, I don't really want to be on the political thing. I'm only interested in policy. That's my only...
Caretaker leader of the Opportunities Party in that
Caretaker.
case. Gareth Morgan.
Transformational.
8:30 now on Morning Report. Time to get to some of your feedback. Quite a bit coming in on the firefighting foam. The interview with Vicky Robertson from Ministry of the Environment. Tim saying early public disclosure was so obviously required, it's open to question. Let individuals and families judge